Hey guys, and welcome back to the podcast. So I'm running solo today. Sam has been a little bit unwell lately, and so I am taking one for the team and I am showing up just as me and you today. So I wanted to talk about the customer journey with you today. So the customer journey, an ascension model in business, it can be called, but basically speaking, it's the journey that your customers go on when they come into your world. So before we get started, even though Sam is not feeling the best, she has still felt into the energy of this topic and pulled a card. So this is a card called Are You Learning? Everyone in your life is teaching you something. And I'll read the card out. Dear human, every single person you met in your life was a teacher. Every single person in your life at this present moment is a teacher. Through each and every interaction, you are presented with an opportunity to learn about yourself and the world. Oh, it's so perfect for today's topic, of course. But this card is really, it's just that reminder that everything is being reflected back to us. Everything, the saying, like, everyone is a teacher, like, we're learning from everyone. It's the school of life. Like, we're learning, yes, but most of all, we're learning about ourselves and we're learning what makes us tick and we're learning what lights us up and we're learning what our heart really wants to do in this world. So from the outside world and from everyone around us and all the things around us and as we're listening to the people around us and our clients and everything like that, they're a reflection, right? They're a mirror. So we're really tuning in and going, what feels good for us? Like, and we're constantly learning that and sifting through that and remembering like what truly feels right to us inside. So thank you, Sam, for that beautiful card. You're here in spirit with us. So let's dive into this topic. So you could be at multiple stages of your journey. You may not have started your business yet. You may have just started your business as a side hustle. You may be fully deep into your business. And no matter where you are at, this concept of, creating a beautiful journey for your clients and customers, it can, we don't think, it's not in the forefront of our mind all the time. And it's come up for me recently because I'm offering something new in my business, and I'll get to that soon. But whenever these things come up, like whenever we get these nudges in our body that are like, oh, I really want to offer this, or my heart is calling me to bring this service to the world, something that's really a really good practice to do is to zoom out of your business a little bit and go, okay, I'm feeling called to offer this. Where does this sit, or where can this sit in my customer journey? So coaches talk about this a lot with an ascension model because it's really taking your customer from the introduction level of them to your business right through to the highest possible offering that you could give them. And this can look different for every business, but it can be adapted by any business in any industry. And I think it's a really interesting way of looking at your business, and it's a way of identifying gaps in your business, and it's a way of identifying what new products could I add into my business, or even what products could I take away from my business to give my clients and customers a better journey, a more easeful journey, a joyful journey within my business. So what I'd love for you to do, and I'll talk you through this as well, if you're not driving or walking or, doing something, you could grab a pen and a paper, and you could do this later if you can't do it right now. But grab a pen and a paper, and what you can do is draw steps. So draw a zigzag line up, across, up, across, up, across, as if you are drawing stairs, steps. And we can look at this like your customer journey. Now, at every step, they can work with you in a different way. And I think a really interesting thing about this is that when we think of our customers and clients, sometimes we can pigeonhole them. And I remember way back in the day when I was growing up, I was a teenager and I was working in my mum and dad's hospitality business. They had a cafe. And the biggest lesson that I learnt is do not assume. Do not assume how much money someone has, how much they're willing to pay for, what they will and won't pay for, because you cannot judge a book by its cover, especially like in the hospitality industry when you're physically seeing people. But even in the online world, like you cannot judge who's got what money, who's got what money mentality, as in what is their abundance mindset, because some people could really not want to part with their money, and then others like they're super abundant and are happy to pay high price for things. So you cannot assume what people are and are not willing to pay for your services. So that is, I think, one of the biggest lessons that I've learned in business, because a limiting belief for you could be that, oh, such and such won't pay that much for, my artwork or my service or whatever. But you just cannot assume. You have to price it in a way that feels really, really good to you. And then you are going to attract the right people for that. So my point being is that there are going to be different people at different stages. And there are going to be people, because we're in the creative industry, right? There are going to be people that, are don't have as much money who love our work. And there are going to be people who have a lot of money who love our work, right? So at what different stages are you offering them something that, they will pay you for, basically? So if you think about that customer journey, are you offering something on the lower end that suits the people who maybe, don't have as a high abundance mindset? And do you have an offering that if someone's like ready to hand 10 grand over to you, do you have an offering to match that, or do you not? And I'm not saying that you have to have an offering to match every single person's pay level, because you can only offer what feels good to you. You can only offer what your heart is calling you to offer. So don't think of it as like, oh, this is just an exercise where I have to fill every gap. It's only offering something that feels super, super good to you. And I'll talk you through my services in a minute, but with my courses, like I haven't for a long time had something like in a particular price bracket. And I know that I've got that gap, but nothing's called to me. I am developing a course at the moment that will be in that price range. But prior to that, there was nothing calling me to offer something in that price range. So I'm not going to force it, but I'm definitely aware, So I think that awareness is really key, because even if you don't have a service that can fill that now, maybe you might down the track, and it's just good to keep your mind open with those sorts of things. So let's work on your model first, and then I'll go through the examples of my business. So right at the very beginning, think about, you have your Instagram account, you might have a Facebook, you might have a TikTok, you have a website, whatever you have in the online space that, shows your work, shows your portfolio, talks about your work. Then, the people that are coming to you and seeing your work for the very first time, they're going to have like that first impression of you, right? So what are you offering them in the very, very, very beginning to bring them into your world, invite them into your world, start the customer journey with you, start that beautiful, yeah, that beautiful journey with you from the very beginning. What is it that you're offering? And there could be a myriad of things that you are offering. It could be, you are on live Instagram every week, so you're offering that to them. You are on stories all the time, so you're offering behind the scenes and a peek into your world. You are inviting them to come into your world via some freebies. Maybe you've created some freebies and you want to get them on your email list. So you invite them to sign up for something in exchange for something, which is called a lead magnet if you're unaware of that marketing world. So, what are you offering them for free to bring them into your world? And then once you offer them that freebie and then they download it, what emails are you sending them to really nurture them and bring them into your world? Like, what does that look like in the very beginning before they have even handed any money over to you? Like they love you, they love your vibe. They're like, yeah, I really vibe with this person. I want more, I want to see more. Like, what are you offering them in the beginning that doesn't cost them any money, but then they can see into your world? Then there's the next step. Okay. So they really vibe with you and they love everything that you're about. They love your personality and they feel inspired by you, or they loved your artwork or whatever it is. What is the next step they can take with you? So on that very first step, write down like whatever freebie or whatever free thing they're getting, whether it is just you in video form or inspiration on your Instagram or a freebie, whatever that is, write that down. And if you don't have something, maybe write down something that you would like to offer. So then what is the next step? So they're ready to spend money with you, okay? They're ready. They want more. They want more of your vibe. So what is it? What can they spend with you? Obviously, everyone's business looks very, very different. Can they buy a meditation from you? Can they buy a print from you? Can they buy a mini course from you? Like, what can they buy? Can they buy a mini session with you if you're a photographer? Or, if you're a teacher, can they buy like, some sort of like mini training, or like what can they buy from you? What is the very first step? Like, let's just say it's under $100 or $200. Like, what is that very first step they can take with you? And like I said, you may have nothing right now in that entry level, and that's fine. This is just something to think about, because you might be like, yeah, I've been really wanting to offer this, and that would be perfect for that next step. After that, then what is the next step they can take with you? So it's like, okay, they loved that. They're ready for more. Because what we can often do, and this is like a self-sabotaging limiting belief thing, is like, you might be like, oh, yep, I've offered that. And then so like, I'll just keep offering that same thing to different people. But did you know that it is statistically true that it is easier to sell to an existing customer than it is to bring on a new customer? And we learnt this in the hospitality industry as well, mind you, that it is easier to upsell a current customer than it is to gain a new one, okay? And then if you transfer that to the online world, of course, it feels so much better to nurture the people who already vibe with you versus trying to, in quote marks, convince someone to come into your world, because the people in your world they already love you. They already vibe with you. So what more can you give them, because they want more from you, because they love you? So what is the next thing that they can get from you? Now, this is going into another price bracket. It might be into the multiple hundreds. It might be into the thousands. So what is it? Is it like, if you're an artist, could it be an original artwork? Could it be a framed print? Like, what is the next step? If they've bought a print from you, what is the next step they can take with you? Is it framing? Isn't it original? Is it I don't know, something else that comes along with the print that's handmade? I don't know. Get creative, like really tune into yourself and feel what's on your heart to give as well. If you are a photographer, could it be a longer session? Could it be, something more intimate? Could it be, that you get provided more photos? Like, what is that next step? Like, Is it, if you're a teacher, could it be a bigger course, a more in-depth course? What is that next step that people can take with you if they are on that journey with you and they want more? And of course, not everybody is going to go on the journey from A to Z. Like, they're not always going to take that ABC approach. They could just come straight in and have that abundant mindset and be like, yep, I want an original from you. I don't need the print. I don't want to start at the scratch. I just love your work and I just want to go straight there. There are always going to be people like that, but it's really beautiful to think of that journey, because I would say the majority of people would follow those steps. So then what's the next step after that? Okay, because you might be like, oh, well, I can't offer anymore. Like, that is the next step. But really stretch your imagination here. Like, what could you offer the people that are ready to spend 5 grand with you, 10 grand with you? What could that VIP offer be? Could it be, if you're a painter, could it be a mural painting? Could it be a commission? Like, what is that next level that you're like, okay, that, to me, that's what it's worth, but only offer it if it feels good to you. For example, for me, like, I used to do one-on-one mentoring. That doesn't feel great for me right now in this time of my life. I can't say that this time next year I won't be doing that. I might be doing that. But right now, I know that that could be one of the offerings that I'm giving, but right now it doesn't feel great in everything else that I'm doing right now. So, just because it's a possibility, it doesn't mean that you have to implement it. It's fun to think about these ideas and think about, like, oh, what could the possibilities be? If you are offering courses, like, could it be that there is a group coaching element to the course, or a private mentoring, or anything like that you could add on? Could you offer retreats? Could you, like, if you thought really big, like, what could that next offering be? It's really exciting to think about that, because sometimes when you get a client who's like, reached the last service in your, like, what you're offering, they might be like, oh, like, I love this person so much. Like, what more could I get out of this person? And like I said, it's easier to convert someone who already loves you than it is to get a new customer. So with those steps, fill in those steps. What is the first step that they're taking with you? What is the next step, the next step, the next step, the next step that they could take with you? So as an example, I can run through my business, because I have differing parts of my business, and you might be the same as well. Like, especially if as a creative, we're like, I'm bored. I need to go do this and this and this and this. And like, if we're artists, a lot of the time we're doing several different artistic pursuits, like whether it be graphic design, artists, surface pattern design, commissions, all that sort of thing. Like, there can be so many different little journeys. So if you have that in your business, then map them out for each of them. So I'll run through mine just to give you a little bit of an idea of where I'm at in mine, because it's ever evolving as well. So I have three like customer journeys in my business. Yeah, just because, like, why not? So first of all, I have the art side of my business, which that has been probably the more recent, evolution of my business, is really tapping more into the, like the fine art side of my business, which I absolutely love and do wish I had more time for. But on my website at the moment, if someone's coming to me looking for art, like pure art for their home, I have my Beach Life collection, and they are fine art prints. So they start at $100. So for a new customer, and because I don't, like, this side of my business, like, I love, 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 but I don't put a lot of, like, time and energy and effort behind the marketing of that side of my business. So I wouldn't say that there's no freebies or anything like that on that side of my business when someone comes into my world. It's more, they see my Instagram, they see my website, they get my vibe, they feel my vibe. And if they love my vibe, then they might be like, oh, okay, cool, I'd love some of that artwork in my home. So the only collection I have at the moment is the Beach Life collection. I did that a couple of years ago. So yeah, it starts under under $100 and then goes into over $200, just depending on the different sizes. And at the moment, that customer journey isn't like, there's not a lot of facets of that journey. There's the prints that you can buy. I'm currently, FYI, doing an original on canvas, which I'm very excited about. So, the next step for me in that side of my business is to offer canvases or do another print collection, do some originals. I wouldn't have the time to do commissions at the moment, but I can do originals and sell those originals. So that's that journey on that side. Then there is the surface pattern design side of my business, working with brands. Now, on that side of my business, again, what happens is people come into my world. They come into my world via Instagram usually. Then they come onto my website and they can apply for the surface pattern design collection. So it's called the Castella Design Collection, and it's a print library on my website of pre-designed patterns. Now, in that library, brands, I should say, can license my designs for around the $650 to $750 mark. So that's usually the entry level point for my brands that are coming to me. Now, if they don't see what they like there, but they still love my vibe, then they can work with me on a custom project. And that is usually the customer journey on that side of my business. So then they come to me and they're like, oh, either what we want isn't, we can't find there, or what we want is already licensed or something along those lines. And so then we work on a custom collection together, which is always so much fun. Like, I love it so much. So that is the customer journey there. And then they work with me custom. And then a lot of the times they're a customer for years and years and years, and we just continue working together, and it is such a beautiful journey together. So that is the journey on that side. And then I have the teaching side of things, which if you're listening, you may have done one of my courses. So basically on that side of things, a customer, or a student in this case, I should say, comes to my Instagram or website, finds some information, reads my blogs on surface pattern design, or, getting your creative work out there in the world and believing in yourself, and, how to find your style and all that sort of thing. I have so many blogs and information on my website about that. And then there's lots of freebies you can download. So freebies about surface pattern design, so like checklists, like so many things on there that we create for you guys. So download that. And then if that's like something that you feel surface pattern design is really calling you, then I have the entry level, like the Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator course is only $177. So that's really, really low entry point for it's starting from scratch. If you've never used the Adobe programs before, it's like teaching you how to use them from scratch. So that is the course that I offer at that price point. And then this is what I was talking about, the big leap, so then I have my surface pattern design course, which as I record this, we are actually in the live round right now, which at this point in time will be the last live round that we do. You can still join the surface pattern design course. There just won't be the live Q&A component. So that is $2,000 at the moment. And that is, so you can see that's a big gap, right? But this is the cool thing, is that there are some new services coming. And this isn't because I'm like, oh, there's a gap, I better fill it. There's a gap, I better fill it. It's more like these things have been calling me for a while, and I'm really, really excited to create them. And this is where they can go in the customer journey. So this year I will be launching a really, really beautiful course around mindset, uncovering your style. It's for creatives. It's for creatives who, really want to get their work out there and just need that abundance mindset and, belief in themselves and that sort of thing. Like, that is just calls to me so, so much. I'm so passionate about that. And that is going to sit in between those courses as a price point. So in between the $177 and the $2,000, it'll sit in between there. And then also this year coming out is my group coaching program. So I'm so excited about that as well. And expressions of interest will go out soon. But that is that next level, because this is what I was finding, that basically once people finish the surface pattern design course with me, and if you're listening and you've been through the course, like, hello, I love you. We all, like, the group is so, so, so incredible that usually what happens is when we come to the end of the live round, everybody's like, Oh, but can we keep going? Like, we just the group is just so amazing, and the accountability is amazing, and the inspiration and the motivation is amazing, that we all just wanna keep going together. And so this was I was like, "Do you know what? This container needs to be, like, really special. It needs to be, like, a group of people that, like, everyone's, like, kept accountable, and everyone is motivated to work towards their dreams." And so this is something that I'm really passionate about, that I'm going to bring out this year as well. And then that will be in that higher price point above the surface pattern design course. So that is the journey that I'm thinking about. There's other things too that we'd love to do in the future, but they're just like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to do this? So that's what I want you to think about. I want you to think about what your heart's calling you to do first and foremost, and then where can that sit in the customer journey. So I hope that's given you a lot to think about for your business and inspired you to really think about that for your customer and giving them that beautiful journey. So I will leave it there, and I will chat to you next time. Bye.